This is an urgent message to all humans who can hear this. No matter what I say about other things in life, or what I say about my other videos, you have to understand and sit through this, where I am in a position where I have magic words, enough to be able to reach all people if people can listen to me. I need one volunteer to dedicate, if you truly, anyone who's listening to me, if you truly care about humanity, you truly cares about starving children, people in Ukraine, famine, if you say you care about God, religion, you say you care about life and even yourselves, your future, humanity, Earth, the universe, if you care for anything or anyone, you will listen up and hear out my proof. The stuff I have to say will not sound believable if you only see a brushstroke. If you only have one puzzle piece, which each video might contain a puzzle piece or two, a brushstroke or two, but you can't see the whole puzzle or the whole painting if you're only looking at a tiny fragment of the whole picture. I want to be able to show someone the whole picture and warn people of what's to come. The events happening now are more significant than people could ever realize. These are symptoms of a cancer humanity has. And I'd like you to watch this with me. So this is actually, believe it or not, about me. And I could prove this because I was the one who made it, not a humanist watching this and saying it's about me. Now, in order for me to describe and tell you all, to prove to you all what's going on in this world, I will need a collection of Bible stories. I will need a collection of subliminal encoded messages that I hid inside of TV, music, movies, commercials, even down to the way buildings are built and numbers and names themselves, experiences, clouds. I can explain all of this if you're willing to think outside the box, in order for you to get rid of your social programming. We have all been boxed in. And when I say we, I am Jesus Christ. There's a reason why the video doesn't talk about Jesus Christ. And I will explain that if you're willing to listen to my words. If you look at my Facebook page, you would know that I am not some schizophrenic or delusional person. I can prove it to you now. Not to say that schizophrenic or delusional people can never, ever be intelligent. But even down to this picture, so I can prove to you the simulation is real. See how that door says King? how this is like an upside down triangle and the things are like a triangle right there. I designed that room even. And this, believe it or not, was supposed to represent me controlling things from far away. Now keep looking here. We must all realize the significance of ignoring the problems around the world. We have to start somewhere, even as small as where you are one stick may break. But many cannot break. We all have to unite and spread awareness about not just religion, but awareness about love, kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. I'm going to add to that my own writing. We've all forgotten the core concepts of what made humanity human. What made humanity great and strong. What made humanity into a tribe, a real village, a real community. We have all forgotten and replaced with a pseudo culture that is mostly satanic and is hidden. It's like eating food with poison in it, or poop with gold spray paint on it. We need to wake up and see the train and realize we are as universal beings in this universe. The events going on around the world, much more than you know, and each is programmed to know, are symptoms of a mass psychosis, loss of an agreed upon moral structure, culture that keeps society afloat and running with laws and morals, role models that can govern us. We, as humans, even though I'm not human, I want to be like a human and be human with you all and risk everything to come here. We need to replace this pseudo culture where there's violence and sex and nothing but sin, bad role models on TV. And we wonder why there's crime, why there's death, why there's cancer, disease, why everyone's dumbed down, ignorant, drug addiction, mental illness. We can't let ourselves fall down this hole where we think that's normal and it becomes normalized. Like how during World War II, people thought it was normal. It was just a slow process in which humanity just delved into this. War was normal. Eventually, it went from people being angry in Nazi Germany to getting rid of Jewish businesses to putting stars on Jewish people to putting them in camps, and then they started putting gay people in camps and mentally challenged people and anyone who even said anything bad about the government in camps. It was a slow process. We can't let this happen to not just the West, but the East, the North, the South, to anyone. We're all being boxed into fragments like every human thinks that white people have to think like this, black people have to think like this, or talk like this, or be like this. The left has to be like this or like that, or talk like this or believe in this. You can't be on the left if you think like this or believe in that. You can't be on the right if you believe in this and believe in that. We are all, without anyone even particularly doing it, being pit against each other, boxed up, divided, and basically made to destroy ourselves while we're being distracted by what really makes a human and a civilization a civilization. Can I have one intelligent human being talk to me? If any of you is strong enough among humans to bring out the perfect humanity, stand up and face me. I think we've all forgotten the core concepts of the Bible. And not just, I'm not saying, even if you don't believe in religion, every single person in the entire universe needs a 12 steps. But not 12, like AA, Overeaters Anonymous, Smoking Anonymous. People need a life anonymous. People are addicted to sin. I need people on my side who are a true and real martyr. Whether religious or not, I am not a zealot. I just enjoy and like and want to spread some of the positivity and mindfulness and awesomeness talked about in the Bible. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body, what you will wear. And do not be concerned about what you will drink. You have to be grateful and just understand that God will give you what you need and not what you want. And just always be grateful. We have to understand our privilege to be in America or wherever you hear me, and always be grateful. And just love your life to the best of your ability. And never let people bring you down. But right now, we're being brought down, and as you can see, the events going on in Ukraine and all around the world are stuff talked about in the Bible. And even if you don't want to believe in the Bible or religion, they are symptoms of something much bigger going on. You might not know to the extent the predictions in Matthew 24:10 are unraveling before our very own eyes, and most are too distracted to notice and realize the significance of all these predictions happening. Whether or not you think religion is real, these events happening have societal ramifications that are mostly unseen until the pressure pops. Like someone with an undiagnosed cancer that has slight pains and doesn't get a proper diagnosis in time, their cancer metastasizes and grows. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we, being many, are one body in Christ, and every one members one of another. You are called to promote truth and unity. Therefore each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to his neighbor, for we are all members of one body. We have to be of one tribe, of one community, of one group. That does not mean we have to be the same culture, be the same color, religion, race, language, or anything. This does not promote any sort of xenophobia or any sort of supremacy. You are called to service. Outlines the importance of using your God-given spiritual gift. Your gift is unique and equally important. It is essential to the body that you use your special gift in service to God. You are called to share Jesus. Romans 1:16 says, I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God for the salvation of everyone who believes. As part of the body of Christ, you are to share your life-changing story with others. If I'd say, in my opinion, my humble, honest opinion, that this is the most important commandment ever. A commandment to view, a commandment that is an umbrella term for all the other commandments. Because if you viewed someone as another version of you, connected to you, and was part of your body, and was just another version of you experiencing life differently in another plane, then why would most people don't lie to themselves in the same sense that I'm talking about. Most people don't hurt themselves as much as they do others. At least to some extent. That's up for debate and arguable, but still. You are called to love one another. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. This is supposed to inspire you and make you feel like loved, because in this time in life, most people are going to eventually feel lonely and sad, disassociated, and not even sad, depressed. There's a difference between sad and depression. Sadness is normal and happens. Depression is a mental illness. Believe it or not, this is the most core teachings in the Bible besides learning how to have rules and guidelines in such a community. Would you smack your own arm? I know some people with mental illness would. I'm saying a normal, average, healthy man, woman, or anyone you identify as. Now, it's not normal to see society and we just accept it as normal. So now it's normal to have bombs going off in Ukraine. So now it's normal to have the coronavirus going around. It's already normalized that people are starving around the world in third world countries. What else will we let become normal? What else will we let deteriorate? If you take a look at dystopian movies, that's normal to them. They don't know anything else. If you take a look at life between 1935 and 1945, or other parts in history, it became normal. It was normal for that to happen. We can't let, as people and universal beings in this universe, we can't let it become normal that we all fall down this hole into depression. And it's because big part of. We've all let God die. The God that you think of as God is dead, and we killed him. And I do not mean that God isn't real. I'm saying we forgot about him. It's almost like whether or not God is real, which I believe and I know God is real, which I'll get into another time. All the people who you look up to aren't priests, aren't businessmen and women and whoever. It isn't people who protect the community. It isn't your mother and father. Not as much as you would think. Most people are looking up to YouTubers nowadays growing up. Most people are looking up to rappers, music stars, movie actors, people who act in movies. Most people don't get a chance to do something that they feel meaning for. They just are put in these slots, these preordained spots that no one wants. Like the song 9 to 5ers Anthem. We're working for someone else's dream and thinking it's ours and just thinking, well, it's better than, it's better than going out, it's better than living in this country or better than what everyone else is going through. And we're just going to let ourselves sink further and further and further and further and further down this hole. Take a look at life 2 years ago. And now it's only 2 years later when humans have been on this planet for thousands of years. And we're just going to let it get normalized. The new normal, right? Well, do you like it? We don't have to let it be like this. Humanity is a dissociative, almost schizophrenic organism that doesn't know where it's walking. It doesn't plan where it's walking. It kind of just flails its arms and legs around and hopes to get somewhere good. If we're not all unified in one body, one mind, and one spirit, and have communication with all parts and members of the others, and what I say by that is I don't mean every human has to talk to another human. I mean, if every human is a blood cell, businesses, governments, and communities, and people who run them are like the organs. And the organs need to connect with each other, with a brain who is Christ, who is me. I'm Jesus Christ. And no one gives me the time to listen. And no one gives me the time to talk. Because you're all busy and distracted. And you're all caring more about what you think you know. What you think you know about me. What you think you know. What you've heard. What you've heard on what? The internet? The internet is meant to distract you at this point. The internet was built, supposedly, what you'll hear of when there was a world war. And to plan for a world war and nuclear Armageddon. Just in case we need to rebuild humanity and society. And now it's being used, not just by proxy, but also on purpose, to basically just distract people. People on YouTube will watch videos, make videos knowing it's just distracting and dumbing down their audience. I'm not saying they're anyone specific, but even as normal humans, cashing in on things. Sin has run rampant. This is a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. The Tinder, the dating apps promote promiscuity. They promote lifestyles that will eventually lead you into depression, meaninglessness, sex addiction, and many other things. God wouldn't send you to hell because you have sex. God wouldn't send you to hell because he's a dating app. But he doesn't want humans being unhealthy and mentally ill. God doesn't want to promote anything that can promote mental illness. Now, I'm trying to currently rewrite the Ten Commandments and prove that they're not that hard. And most people look at the Bible, and I've been told I shouldn't have a picture of the Guy Fawkes mask if I love Jesus. So you're telling me, Jesus Christ, that these rules that were set, where does it say this in the Ten Commandments? No pictures. What do you mean? In the 7 deadly sins and the Ten Commandments? That's not what I meant. Even make any graven image. I don't care if humans have superheroes. Every human needs a role model and needs people to look up to. They need parental figures. They need community figures. It's like these strings, like marionettes, that every human is supposed to be attached to. Figuratively and metaphorically, but also sometimes literally, just not with strings. And we have all let those strings become detached and disassociated from each other. And this might sound schizophrenic or delusional, but it's highly, highly advanced psychological, religious, and political knowledge that most humans can't handle and will just click off because they get bored. So, this is like the movie Idiocracy. Can I get someone to stop watering their plants with Brando, metaphorically? A movie about a time traveler who wanted to talk to people, but they were all too dumb and stupid. You are all dumbed down sheep who don't know how to care for yourselves or others. And you want to have children to raise because you're told that that's what a human should do. You want to work 40 hours a week because you're told that's what a human should do. You're told that you need money and a sexy girlfriend or a sexy boyfriend or whoever to be happy. You are being told what to do and who to be and how to act, and it's playing into Lucifer's game. It is a game to them. Are you happy working 40 hours a week? What about Buddha? What about Jesus, as in me? Back then, people were happy back then, believe it or not. And they had God, and they didn't care about sex and video games and sin as much. I mean, video games, weren't real back then. So I can also prove other stuff about what I say. I just need someone to actually take the time and talk to me before assuming and being a zealot. Or someone said, someone said to me, so you're Jesus Christ, and, well, my creator will talk to me one day. I said, I'm right here. What are you going to do? Ignore him when he comes next time, too? Who's to say I'm not real? Who's to say I'm not right? Who's to say you know me more than me? You want to say you know me? You do not know me. You don't serve the God that you claim you do. You claim that you pray to the person you would call my Father. And if you've known me, you would know him also. If you've seen me, you've seen him. I and the Father are one, and I came down from heaven. This is a simulation that I saved and liberated. I can prove it with other things like this. Let's look at my Shama. These are all on the body in whom I've took over. Birthday. Songs I made for him before I got here. All to help him give confidence and evidence. These songs all are inspired by and for him and his experience. This one, the young boy learns their rules. It's like, whose rules was he learning? That's the question to ask. Who is this song really about? It's even on Hayden's birthday. Now let's look at this. All these songs. This one, Ever Wonder If It's All For You? All these songs. There's a bunch of songs that talk about a particular they and a kid. Like, watch this. Even this was on his birthday, because I needed him to think the lizard people were me, so that I can get into his body. Welcome to the family. Hey kid, do I have your attention? Indestructible, the powers have called me away. Then heathens. Now, it looks like you might be one of us. One of who? I want someone to actually answer these questions for me. One of who? Slowly resurrected from the dust when he understands everything inside of you is us? Bloody poetry? That's, why I sacrificed your whole life? You're still an apprentice? Who's the apprentice? Is it the same person as a kid? The one? Neo? Now, because we've been waiting for you, who's the we? Indoctrination? I don't know how they found me. Who found them? I designed all these songs. This song, The Best Day, because you're the one that would make this music for. We'll be right here with you through your war. Now, think about that Duck and Trussell video I just watched. This is real. I want to have someone dispute me. I want someone to prove to me they're not a demon. If you don't want to believe I'm Jesus, it's fine. Then, how do you explain all this? Heretic, all eyes descend on one. Demons. No, I don't want to hide the truth. This is all for you. But the music understands you. And believe it or not, that's a depiction of Jesus Christ in the Bible. On corn. Twisted transistor. And this is not blasphemy. You have no idea who I really am, what I would do to save humanity, what I would do for a human to love me. Watch this. He will have hair white as wool. Read that on your own. Let's see what you can do for me. Does that not look? White hair. Like that. Undisclosed desires. You're the one. Message man. These lyrics aren't for everyone. Only few understand. These are the brush strokes I'm talking about in the beginning of the video. These are the puzzle pieces. And if you assemble them all together. 7 Nation Army. God's favorite number. Indian Summer. I love you the best. Wild child. Not your mother's or your father's child. He's our child. Whose child? If he's not his mother's or father's child, whose child? These are rhetorical questions. You resurrected back before the final fallen. Let's look at Jesus being completed. Schism, I'll be back when it's all complete. Demons that no one needs to just realign. These are all lyrics when I'm on it. I'm reading the lyrics that all have to be combined together. Made into work complete, that I'll be the new norm. Assemble me into a higher human form. I'll be completed right before your very own eyes. Time to shed my moral disguise. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm not a human. Ask me stuff. I don't know every single thing other than how to save the universe, believe it or not. Daughter, because I told you they wanted Hayden to be a girl, and I was going to let him. But now I took over his body. It was only to make him feel loved no matter what they did to him. They is in the Illuminati. That means I only got one boss. I see him every time I look in the cloud. Lucky enough to be built by the people. Realign. Demons didn't know I seemed to realign. You know how it says remember my name on Breaking Bad? That's so these people, I'm sending a message that I'm more powerful than demons. Remember my name. Say my name. I am the one who knocks. I'm knocking right now. Stupefy, coming back again? Who's coming back again, you might ask? The vengeful one? He watches from the ageless void. Enlightened shadow of his former self. Wait for the time will take human form again. Completed. And then I feel like I've been replaced. I'm Hayden's replacement. It's like I fell from the sky, like all the other stuff. Vengeful one, alien boy, and now let's look at Org. These are signs that I wanted Hayden to see, to have confidence, and also for me to be able to explain myself to humans, see who has faith, entertainment, and also test Lucifer, because I wanted them to go to the government and say I'm like some horrible monster or blasphemous, so they would be teaming up, pretending to be me, which is what I talk about in the Bible. Many will call my name. I met these people. I didn't mean it. Why would they go around saying they're me to everyone, to the public, other than in the government? They don't want. They're just going to tell the government that all these things are meant to happen, just like the Bible said. They don't want the humans to know about Jesus. They're going to say it's just a test. It's to test who will sin and who won't, who's good, who's bad. That's what the government's actually doing right now. And I have on video a girl pretend to be Jesus in front of me, trying to tell me I'm already in hell. Org, he will forget from whence he came. I might not be able to show that. I am not Hayden Lonsdale. It's a story about something getting inside of his brain and controlling it when I was a penguin before. And I'm not a shapeshifter. And this show, believe it or not, is about God coming back, in some sense. The second coming of Gulb. And I'm not that thing in the sense that I'm not evil. I'm actually just Jesus Christ. Let's look at a picture of Jesus Christ. That's like a picture of Jesus Christ. I would like someone to dispute all this. I need someone to be brave and talk to me like this person. I have one person. This person is talking to me. Now, I don't want to put him on blast here, or whatever you people might say, but I didn't sound like this. He actually talked to me. He didn't ask me for too much. He didn't ask me or expect me to tell him everything in the universe. He thought some of the stuff I said sounded enlightening and wise and religious and cool, changed his perspective a little bit, and he seemed to believe in me, at least a little bit, no matter what I say. And this isn't an actor. This isn't one of the people I talk about. A real human is suspicious about how all this matches up, and I will continue to prove it to you all. I just need someone to actually listen to me and hear me out. I don't want people being so distracted. My videos aren't just about demonic forces hunting me. If you really look at the beginning of it, I study them. I'm like a psychologist, like a police officer, like a doctor, I'm like a father. I understand. But you've all been led astray in my name. I can't make bread fall from the sky. That's Satan's trick. They basically said in their head, well, we're going to make the humans think that he has to make bread fall from the sky. We're going to make the humans think that he actually turned water into wine. Because some of the humans actually thought that a little bit after stories were misled about me, like, hundreds of years later. And then Lucifer said, yeah, let's take these stories, and then if he ever comes back, they'll think he's supposed to be wicked magic. They'll think that he's supposed to be, literally, some giant superhero, like Superman. I wish I could. But if you don't believe in me, Lucifer programmed all of you to say, you're a false messiah. No, I'm not. I have proof for what I say. Either way, so in your head you're saying false messiahs are human? No, that's not what I meant. I'm saying false messiahs would be these people, and more often than not, they're only going to the government. Other than the people that, like false prophets, such as people in churches and talking about religion, even on YouTube. Some people who predict stuff and talk about religion and talk philosophy. Some people even talk about Satanism, and they're false prophets and says that they're trying to turn everyone into Satanists. They want everyone to forget about religion. They wanted to replace religion with enlightenment, and then replace enlightenment with Satanism, and just make everyone forget about God at the same time while they're doing all that. It's pretty obvious what's going on. I just need someone to say, prove it. You're gonna it's a pre-programmed response. The devil, some girl said, it's demonic to think you're Jesus. It's demonic to actually know you're Jesus and tell people you're Jesus. They told me the same thing last time I was here. And oh yeah, Orglorg isn't evil in the end. In the end, he turns out to be friendly and happy. Because most people might think I'm evil. Thinking I'm God and the creator. Thinking I'm what if I show them the exact if I'm going to speak and walk in truth, I want to preach to you all, to always tell the truth and be the truth and be with the truth, and always try your hardest to be like me in the Bible, then it's also a test for Lucifer. I want Lucifer to literally go to the government and try and report me and say I'm some bad person when I'm not. Now, I'm not evil, because why the hell else would I be showing you this? I don't mean to say why the hell else, because Jesus Christ, believe it or not, wants to be down to earth and just talk to you as if a friend or a father or a psychologist or whatever. And I'm willing to show you all this stuff. The reason why all his music is on his birthday is to give him signs. I knew they'd be making him listen to that music anyways. So I was like, I'm going to put signs and codes that even the Illuminati won't know about. Like this. It says 777 on his arm. 777. Ain't it? Follow the white rabbit. These are the equivalent signs of someone following the white rabbit. Tell me I'm a normal human. Tell me it's a coincidence. Hayden Christensen, the chosen one. Hayden Christensen, the chosen one. Because I wanted Hayden to think that they were me. And think about it, Hayden Christensen, if you think outside the box, really, really outside the box, doesn't mean Anakin became Darth Vader. And that means he's his own father. If you know me, you've known the father. And I wanted them to think that he was me, and I was them. And I wanted him, as in Hayden, to think that they were me, and just different versions of him, basically. And then I also want him to separate from them. Like the lyrics from Divide, Disturbed lyrics. This is a song I wrote for him. I'm seeking my salvation, Logan. I never need to be one of you anyways. I know one of who? Ask yourself, one of who? Because he wanted to impress me. And I knew he'd do it, because I see through time, in the sense that I'm God. I'm Jesus Christ. That's why all these songs are like that, to give him faith. So I want him to feel as strong as this guy, while he was facing demons. And that Jesus Christ means business this time. I'm not going to come back being some twig, someone that gets pushed over, and someone that just gets tortured and everyone yell at him for no reason, saying blasphemy, blasphemy. Nope, not this time. I'm actually going to be God this time, the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. I'm not just some sacrifice. I don't want people drinking me and eating me. It's all a satanic, evil, devil trick. You're not supposed to drink me and eat me. It's not supposed to praise me just because of me paying for the sins of mankind. You're supposed to love me because of what I can do for your life, and actually love me as if I was another person right next to you. Like how people love aliens, would love an alien to talk to them. I want Christians to love me as if I could talk to them. So I got Hayden to believe in me by thinking about aliens. Maybe I could do that with you. I made Hayden believe in me by having him believe in me as if it was a different version of him, or like a father, or a psychiatrist, or a doctor, or someone who could like understand him and be just a friendly, happy human with him and be a best friend. I'm not gonna make bread fall from the sky. I can only make you see differently and open your eyes to a new lifestyle, a new way of living and perceiving. I wish I can do some of the stuff you guys want me to do, but unfortunately, how would you feel if you went to a village and helped it, treated it, made everyone happy, and then let's just say you came back, let's say you're a human, you came back a couple months later, and you want to say hi to that village and to that part of the world, and they all expected you to be someone a million times better than you could be. Or, not a million times better, but they expected you to be magic. And they expected you to do so much stuff more than you could do. I would say that's rude, and mean, and sad. You guys should all be ashamed of yourselves if you only love me if I'm magic. You only love me if I can make bread fall from the sky and heal people. What will heal people is people stopping sinning, stop being distracted, and let's work on and fix the world's problems together as a unity, and not divide. You don't want to divide from me, you want to divide from Satanism. And let's look up indestructible. Another time to carry the colors again. An oath of sworn to defend. I wanted him to think that they were me. And I wanted him to feel like he took an oath to them. Now, this also goes along with the fact of now I understand these are more sinful lyrics. That's derogatory, and it's not okay in the future when I am fully in power. But I needed Hayden to notice me, and I'm only some of the lyrics. I didn't write every single song, believe it or not. Privilege enough to be built by the people. Who's the people? Is it the same people as the they and the we and the other songs that I wanted Hayden to think of as me? That means I only got one boss to see him every time I look in the crowd. Let's look up Brother Ali Own Light lyrics. Sometimes I feel like a stranger, maybe I ain't from here. I wanted him to notice me in some of these lyrics. Let's take a look at this. The world is just yourself. Like 1 Corinthians, all the stuff that I preach is in this music. And it also goes along with the same stuff I talk about in all my videos. Where I want everyone to think, I wanted Hayden Lonsdale to think that they were me, and I was them, and that everyone is another version of yourself, or like your arm, or your leg, or your friend, or your blood cell, or your liver, or your heart. And God is the brain, and I'm the brain of all you people. Now I need someone to actually investigate this further. I want someone to be smart enough to actually look into this. I understand that some of these lyrics, if you look at the songs, might seem sinful or blasphemous, but you gotta understand God works in mysterious ways. I knew that Hayden Lonsdale would be surrounded by Satanists. I needed to infiltrate their music industry and their music in order to have him notice me to save you all. I'd say that's worth it, well worth it for you all. I do not promote bad, unhealthy, sinful music for all people. But what needed to be done, needed to be done. And people, whether or not you want to believe on Jesus, explain all this. Who is this we talked about in the music industry? Who is this one that's always talked about? Who is this? Who is this? Well, ask yourself, what do you think, it's a coincidence? Hayden Lonsdale was a body I took over in his name. Like in The Day the Earth Stood Still, they said, are you human? He said, my body is. So that means his human body is mortal, but what about his brain was talking for him? It's what they didn't ask. It's what he didn't say. So I'd like to leave you with that. And think about org. Org, believe it or not, is a way for me to help explain what I am and how I am at the same time as test Lucifer and make it so they literally will go to the government and say I'm some evil monster because they don't understand at the end. For people who have faith and who are smart enough to understand me, it turns out he's not evil. And there's many more signs I put in these cartoons to make Hayden notice me, and you have to assemble every piece of the puzzle. Like some sort of... Have you ever heard of the Yu-Gi-Oh game? Exodia. You have to assemble all these different pieces. And to build it into something. Lucky enough to be built by the people. Like how I talked about my videos, where it's like an avatar I have. But at the same time, I also need to explain myself. I also need to assemble pieces for you. It's so complicated how to explain why and how I am who I am. But I need someone to listen to me. But apparently no one has a couple hours for humanity. You all claim you love God, you all love humanity, but you don't have a couple hours to talk. And hey, if you don't want to believe what I say, then let's do something. Let's talk about some activist stuff. Let's talk about helping people, feeding people, clothing people, doing something. Let's all meet up. I'll pay. I wish I could pay someone to come with me, and I could prove that these are demons around me. I could prove that, well, some of them at least. I could prove all of what I say if someone were to hear me out and have a polite, civilized, wise, enlightened, religious discussion. And actually understand, help me understand you, I can learn from you, and you can learn from me, and it'll be like a good community experience for everyone.